Hey everyone! Okay, so we are ready to do the final walkthrough of our cabin. We got our Shelterlogic up and installed, which allowed us to get all of our tools outside of the cabin and that. So we figured we would start at the well here. We recently had it installed. It took, oh gosh, maybe 2 hours to go down and dig it about 40 feet deep. They did hit water at the water table at the river behind us, but to get a little better drinking water, they kept going down. So once they got the well dug, we had the water kind of run clear from there. They ended up coming in and digging a trench all the way up underneath our house. I think it was about 15 feet deep. It was pretty deep. They ended up taking the line that runs the water up under our house into our well pump, wrapping it in a foam and in heat tape that we keep plugged in for most of the year. If you need a jacket outside, you should have heat tape plugged in. So we got the well set up pretty close to the river, so we have water pretty quickly with the depth of it. And yeah, so they got it all dug up underneath the house, and we'll go have Blake explain that whole setup that he got it going for us. And yeah, we'll go inside now.
It really does feel pretty big in here, but anytime we're trying to shoot videos, we've noticed we kind of have to stand on opposite ends of the cabin just to be able to, get it in the frame, whether that's our camera or the lens or what. But so we're just going to try and do it from here, and I'll talk from here. I'll tell you a little bit about the system, and then she can come in and kind of zoom in on the different aspects of it. So that water line comes in from the well. Like she was saying, it's wrapped in heat tape and it's wrapped in insulation to keep it from freezing. It comes up into a pressure tank. That pressure tank pressurizes the water line basically, and it goes into a sediment filter to pull out any kind of dirt or anything like that might be in it. The water here is pretty hard. Ours wasn't that hard actually. It was low to moderate, if anything. So we're going to run it through a water softener just to be safe, but we probably could have gotten away without doing that anyways. So runs through a sediment filter, goes into our water softener, comes out of our water softener, comes into a main cold line that splits off here, and then it comes into it's a tankless on-demand propane water heater. So it barely uses any electricity. The propane's actually really efficient. It only kicks on when we turn a hot water spigot on, and shuts off right away as soon as you don't need it. And it heats up right away. So we're really happy with this. So the cold water comes into the water heater, heats up, comes back down. That gives us hot and cold water throughout the house, which is only a few more outlets. And what we're doing here is we actually shoot off a hot and cold line to go to a stackable washer and dryer. And then this way it comes around here. We drop a cold line for our toilet. We installed this shower stall, which we're really happy with. It's a 36 by 36, and it feels plenty big, so we're happy there. I don't know if you can see in that, but anyway, so we have a hot and cold source here, and then we carry that through to our kitchen sink, which is where it all ends, and then we have a hot and cold there as well. So all the plumbing we did with this 1/2-inch PEX flexible line. Super easy to work with. Everything just crimps together. If there's ever any leaks, we can cut out a section and add one in, no problem. You'll see all these big black vent pipes. Basically every water spigot that you have, or water drain anyways, it has to have a fresh air line that allows it to go through the drain without getting caught, basically. So it needs a source of air to come from above it. So this line here gives air to our washer and dryer drain, comes around the corner, feeds into our main 3-inch stack, which gives air to the toilet drain, and it also splits off up in this area to give vent for the shower and the kitchen sink over in the kitchen. What we did here is we just ran it right up into the loft, and then we put island vents or air admittance valves, where basically they only allow air to come in, and as soon as there's no suction, then they close. That way we didn't have to put it through our roof line and worry about bringing cold air into this vent, which will freeze when it gets cold outside. So that was a really handy way to do it. Learned that from our uncle. This piping here is this is a fresh air intake for the water heater, and then this is the exhaust, and it's actually it's not a real hot exhaust. You're able to use this Schedule 40 PVC pipe, and we just ran this up, kind of followed the stairs, and then stuck it straight outside the wall. What you want to do with this is you want to try and leave as much interior piping as you can to stop from pulling cold air into this unit and freezing up the small amount of electronics that are in there. So yeah, thank goodness everything ended up working out okay. We only had one leak when we tested the system, and that was on the shower valve, and that was actually one of the brass pieces, so we got that fixed, no problem. I've got a little bit of a leak right here, but I'm just kind of keeping my eye on it, and I'll tighten that up later, but that's no big deal. It's just on this brass nipple piece. And yeah, we ended up pretty much doing all of it ourselves. The only things we had to hire out were the well and the septic, and we did have an electrician come and give us a 220 plug for the dryer, just because we didn't feel like messing around with that. And this pocket door here worked out really nicely. I tried to show that in the beginning of the video, but it closes up nice and tight, stops it from slamming. And it worked out perfect for what we needed. It saved us a ton of space. It keeps doing that, but that's no big deal. Krista, if you want to show them the rest, I'll grab this.
Yeah.
And stand way over here in this corner. This is going to be our wood stove in the next couple weeks. It just got delivered. We got a call today, so we're going to stick a wood stove here, vent it up through the ceiling, and then all the way out through the roof.
Yeah, so our kitchen, I'm really happy how it turned out. Gosh, we spent so much time at Home Depot, and originally we were just going to put a countertop in here or a stainless steel table, kind of call that good. But they had a really good deal on cabinets at Home Depot that we couldn't pass up. So we were able to fit a pantry in here. It allowed us to, have all of our pantry and dry goods kept away and stored in that. We decided to put it this way. We were going to put it this way, but for whatever reason, we liked having some space on each end, and eventually we'll build up a couple bookshelves on that side of it. And then we just have our dog and cat food over here. But gosh, we loved how it turned out. We had plenty of room to be able to do these upper cabinets on the wall. It allowed us to keep our, our light plugs still accessible. But yeah, we've got everything for our silverware and our Tupperware and our cooking utensils and all of that stuff. Our sink is a 9-inch deep stainless steel sink, so it's deeper than the place that we own down in Arizona. We're happy to have a big sink. We don't have a bathroom sink, if you didn't notice, so we keep our dishes free of being left in the sink overnight or for too long, and just take care of them whenever we cook. So it works out really good. Also not having a dishwasher, just clean up after yourself. And a big reason why we came up here was to be minimal with what we own. We don't need, 18 forks and 18 knives, so we downgraded way back when we decided we were going to move up here. And yeah, anyway, so we really like the white. We chose to do these long black handles in the drawers, and those worked out really well too. Countertop is like a gray white with the black in it, and having my parents up here a few weeks ago, they pointed out, I didn't even catch it, but they pointed out that all of the black and the white and the grays really tie in to the birch trees outside, especially when it's snowy out like it is now. So we really enjoy kind of having that feel of the colors from outside being inside as well. not just with the wood and the wood, but the white and the black and the grays. We also have a full-size propane oven stove. So it is electric, but it barely uses any electricity. We have a 100-pound propane tank on the outside of the house, and that's what feeds into this to give us power and give us the ability to cook and heat everything up. Over here, we are getting ready to build a stand for it, but we did buy a Berkey. We're really excited about that. Even though we have a well and we've had the water tested and it's still clean, drinkable water, the fact that we can just throw some water in the top of that and run it through the Berkey makes a huge difference. Kids love the taste, we love the taste, and we know it's clean drinking water. And then we have a full-size fridge and freezer over here. After being in a camper for 14 weeks, we are very happy to have a full-size fridge and freezer. Having to go to the store to get eggs or any type of fridgeable items, it got a little crazy. So now we can kind of keep our fridge full and yeah, store what we need in there. What else? Let me see. That's about it. It's very simple. It's very efficient for what we need, and we love it. Over here at the entryway, we ended up getting these coat wraps, which I really, really like. They can fit a ton of jackets, hats, you can throw the gloves on there. Yeah, that turned out really good. We originally had one of them, decided we wanted another one, moved that one over, put the other one in, and now we'll be able to hang up all of our coats and bibs and jackets and gloves. Down below we just have a little rug on the floor for our boots when we kick them off. And it works out perfect because we ended up moving the Toyo stove from where the fridge was over to here. And not only does it allow the heat to go upstairs where we sleep, but it gave us our full wall for the kitchen, and it dries all of our stuff overnight. So any wet boots that come in, they are dried by morning, and we love that. Yeah, why don't we go take a look upstairs? When we bought the cabin, it was completely empty. So when we bought the cabin, it was completely empty. The stairs were just hardwood pieces holding it together. So we decided to put some carpet over that, give it a little more homey feel, and yeah, give us a lot more comfort going up and down.
That vent stack that we were talking about, the bathroom's right below this corner here, and it basically follows up in here, and then it tees off to those two air admittance valves, which was super handy. So that's that. The kids call it Vent Man, and we plan on decorating them for the holidays and having a little bit of fun with it. So that's that. Before we go back to her, I'll show you out the window real quick. We got the outhouse all moved, which was a little bit tougher than we expected. We've seen it in several shows where they just kind of slide them on skids, but they're surprisingly heavy. But anyway, so that's done. There's our shelter out there. And then we were able to park our RV right alongside our leach field out there. Oh. Alright, here's Krista.
Yeah, so our loft, we love it. We didn't expect it to have this much space, but it works out really good. Lily apparently has her bed. But yeah, we have our bed, our kids have their bunk beds, we have a dresser that we share, kids have a dresser of their own. We keep games and toys and stuff underneath their bunk beds so they can pull them out and put them back away easy. We do also have, it came with the cabin, it's a fire escape ladder. So if anything ever happened, we do have a fire extinguisher at the top of the steps and two downstairs as well. But if for any reason we needed to get out of here, we have that ladder we can throw over the top balcony and head down. This is still a work in progress. It drives me nuts, but we will eventually get a closet area over here. But right now we just have our clothes hanging up on these racks from Walmart for like 19 bucks. Anyway, not my favorite option, but they work for the time being. I think all of our winter stuff is a little too heavy for them. Then looking out the back patio. I love this view.
There's snow on the ground, but it's still really not here yet. Maybe in the next couple weeks. We're not sure when it's going to really come, but there's only a couple inches or so, if that. We've been really lucky. Right above our house, almost every single night we get the northern lights. Anytime it's not cloudy and they're out, they basically shoot right over the top of the cabin. So we'll figure out how to get that on footage, because it's pretty neat to see and be able to share. You're back on camera.
Yeah. If you want to show them this corner, when we get that wood stove installed, the pipe does have to come up through the loft up here. So we're going to have that pipe going up and out the rooftop from there. So we'll have to do a little rearranging and move the bed, and I do want to add a bookshelf up here and be able to store all of our books. That's pretty much what we do at night, is read a book out loud and hang out.
Okay, well, that's pretty much it. Forgive the walkthrough if the camera gets shaky or anything like that. We'll get better. Probably can't get worse. So, anyways, we tried to get it all in there. It's definitely been a lot of work, and we've gotten it done a lot faster than we thought we would. Both of us have learned quite a bit, and it's nice knowing that we did it ourselves. So, if problems do come up in the future, we kind of know where to start and how to fix them. So, that was neat.
Yeah, it worked out really good, and if we wanted to add on, we could eventually down the road, but for now, we came up here to own everything outright, and we do. And it might be smaller. We may not have our 3-bedroom house and 3 bathrooms, but we have what we need, and we have a beautiful piece of property on the Chena River, and we love it.
Yeah, so we've still got some more fun stuff we're going to try and do outside. We're going to insulate the bottom skirting around the house to stop cold air from blowing underneath there. We talked about possibly building some lean-tos to store firewood. Down the road we'll want to be doing chicken coops and gardens and all that, of course. But yeah, we're just going to keep going at it one thing at a time, and as things need to be done, we'll try and get it on video and be able to share it with everyone. And, yeah, just have fun doing it. So,
yeah, cool.
We'll see you next time.